Hello, Frank Whitmer here today to talk a little bit about Johnson Controls and their connected workflow apps that are be coming out in the near future. So I thought we'd do a little sneak peek on the new app and see how it works with the CWCVT and also with the map gateway. There's been many that have been asking about the CWCVT and the browser access of the same kind of views you got with the map gateway, which we do not get with the CWCVT, and that is what the connected workflow apps will be set for. So I figured the best place to start was let's just do a quick review on our CWCVT gateway or router, I guess. Basically, it's the MSTP converter to be used with CCT to be able to upload your controller. So it gives you remote access to the field controllers on the MSTP bus. It does give you 3 different modes of operation. You have a Wi-Fi router mode, which is to work like a backnet router. And at this time, it's strictly for Johnson Controls controllers, so it's used for CCT. And then they have actually a BTCVT mode as well, similar to what they had with the old BTCVT years ago. But that's for legacy controllers. And then you have the BLE router mode. That's the Bluetooth low energy mode that the CWCVT can be put into. And that's what you're going to use to connect to your smart device, whether it's your iPhone, your Android phone, a tablet, or whatever. It's this mode that we'll use for that, and we'll go through and show live usage of that. So then you get into the connected workflow application itself. It is something that runs on Apple iOS and also on the Android app. So once it's available and released, you'll be able to download it from the Google Play Store or the Apple Apps Store to get that version as well. Basically what it's going to be and what they have finished so far, I guess I should back up. I'm really doing a sneak peek so that everybody can see the direction things are going in, and that there really will be a way to allow you to go in and look at points, change points, override points, and other things like that, similar to what we were used to doing with our map gateway. So basically, with this app, we are going to be able to look at the equipment controller view, which we've had in the past with the map. So you can see your inputs, outputs, parameters. You got the configurable homepage for devices. That's part of what you're setting up for the display in CCT. So you can have specific points that be what you would show first when you go into the app. Or if you're using a display, for that to show up there as well. You could also then view your alarms, events, which are going to be your alarms. You have your trending, you'll be able to see your trend data, and also view and modify schedules that are set up in the controller. And there are things that are there right now, and I will show that. In the future, things they're working on will be the airflow balancing. That's a big one everybody's been asking about, so that's coming down the road with this app. Device point checkout, tailored summaries, box flow testing, live trends, and reports. Again, these are all the things you can do with the map currently when you're in the browser, the UI part of it. And this will be something that'll be part of this app once available. So just a couple of quick screenshots to show how you can make your connections to the networks. There's a couple different ways to go. There's the IP integration and there's MSTP. IP integration would be for the IP controllers, your CVEs, your CGE controllers. The MSTP integration, you can connect via Map Gateway or you connect via the CWCVT device to get on the bus and discover your devices. And these screenshots here show what you would see if you're doing the IP integration, how it comes up and shows. In this case here, there's a rooftop unit controller. Then you have your map gateway where you make sure you set up your network number and your UDP port just like you did when you connect using the map gateway previously with CCT. And then you have the CWCVT, which is similar to what you're doing with the map, but the map you're doing it through Wi-Fi. The CWCVT, you're doing that through Bluetooth. So when you first connect, it'll come up and show you available devices, and then you'll see the CWCVT, and then you can do your connection from there. So from there, we'll go in and we will do a live demo. So the first thing we want to do is we are going to set up my phone so I can connect and mirror it to the screen so I can show you exactly what it can do at this point. Okay, so now I've got my iPhone up on my screen, and you can see that there. And we'll go ahead and start up the or launch the CWA application. Click on that. So when you first get in there, you can go in and look at your system settings, set up some configuration things there. Go back out of there. We'll go back. We go into the CWA for a technician, and we can choose IP integration, map gateway, or via the JCI BLE, which is the CWCVT. So we can go look at our IP integration. We'll go here. Oh, got to go to the phone. Click there. You set up your UDP port. 47808 is our standard, the standard that we use. So what we can do there is we go down, we hit Discover, and it goes through and it will go out and look for any IP-based Johnson Controls controllers. In my case here, I do have a CGE controller on my network. Okay, it found the controller. Right now I just have just the one controller on our network. And it comes up and tells us the program's called RTU. The MAC address for it is 47, and we can go to more on there and see what model controller it is, and also what firmware is installed on the controller. From there we can go and we can click on RTU, and this is where it will come up and bring in all of the data that we can look at. So you can see here it found the idle page, which was again part of when you configure the display in CCT for your application. So we can see I've got zone temperature, warmer, cooler in there, room temperatures, return air temperature, fan control. So all those points are in there. And then you have your inputs. Again, this is very similar to what you're used to seeing in a browser view of map. Inputs, outputs, parameters. So if we wanted to, we could do some testing. We actually could go to an output. Let's say we want to go through here. Let's see, we want to go ahead and we can command, say, a heating stage on. So from here, we can just say operator override, and we are going to put a value in there as on, hit OK, and it should come up and then it'll flag us on the screen to show that it is an override, and there's the orange bar comes up on the side and tells us that we are in the override. I could take that back out by doing the select command and say release operator override, hit apply, and that goes back under normal control. You can do the same thing if you wanted to on your inputs. If I were to go in here and say, okay, I want to just play with my mixed air temperature. Actually, I'm not even sure why I have it's RTU controller. Mixed air, we'll say take it out of service. We'll put in a value of 40 degrees. Let's say we wanted to test our economizer damper. So we say okay, and you can see it allows us to do that. Again, we can go in there and we can go back and put it back into service, and a live value will come back up again. So that's all your inputs, outputs, parameters are set up that way. If we look at scheduling is set up where we can go in and do a view, allow us to go in there and add or change existing schedules. So if I wanted to go in here and add a schedule, it allows you to go through and do all that. If you want to go in there and see what the schedule is for today, you get to see that on there as well. And then if we move on from there, we'll go back. We'll look at our trends. And in this case here, I've got two trends. I've got a mixed air temperature trend and a room temperature trend, so I can go in and view those. You can see them from here. You can zoom in. You can zoom out. Shows you the actual value where you're tapping on the screen at the top. And I can go to the other. We can see the same thing there. And then events would be your alarms. So we go in and view that. We see the different temperature alarms that that came in, and they're going to list there. So that's basically the data that you're going to get when working with the Connected Workflow app as it stands today. So, and this is with the IP controllers. So if we go back and we exit out of here, we can go back in and we can look at our map gateway. The map gateway is set up that we would have to set up our, since the map gateway is done via Wi-Fi, we would go in, set up the Wi-Fi on your phone, and connect to the map gateway, and then it'll go through there to do the connection to find the controllers and go in and do the same thing we did with the IP controllers. And then the third one there is the BLE, the CWCVT, the Bluetooth low energy device. That is this device here. And what we can do there is just say discover. It says, okay, hey, I found this device. Do you want to connect? So we'll connect there. And it comes up. And we can then click on that device and have it go out and do a discovery. I have it connected to a CVM 03050 is what we're going to be seeing here on this one. Okay, this one came in. There's the VAV. Again, we can go in here under more. We can see what firmware is installed on there, what the controller model is, what the MAC address is on there. And then we can go through, if we click on VAV, it's going to go through and find the points, the schedules, the trending, and all the data in the controller and populate it on here. Okay, the point information is starting to populate on here. You'll see as we go along here, as it's updating, it's filling in the values for each. Again, like we showed in the IP controller, you go in, you can override these points if you'd like. It shows the idle page first, then it'll go through all the rest of the points that are in there, or you can go over to inputs. You can go to your outputs. Again, you can command override these, your parameters to change set points and whatnot. Then you have access to your schedule if there is a schedule that's being used, and then your trending data. So if you are trending your data, you get to see that in here as well. And then your events, which would be your alarms, whatever alarms you have set up in the controller will show up here as well. So that's the CWCVT part of the integration and working with this connected workflow application. So basically, this is what's going to replace what we use with the map with the browser access to get to the point information, eventually to get to scheduling and checkout and things like that. But I thought it was a good time to show what Johnson Controls is working on with this app and where they are with it today and where they're going to be getting to, and then have release available at some time in the near future. As more things get added, or as they release things, hopefully we'll add to the video and we'll have a little bit more to show at that point. But at this point, that is everything on the Connected Workflow application. If you have any questions or any comments, please let us know. And until next video, take care.